Hello everyone, welcome again to the channel. Today I want to discuss with you this topic of sexual transmutation for single men. If you have seen previous episodes, you remember that we were talking about sexual transmutation for people or for couples. So this is specifically for men who are single. This is necessary because we are going to practice the sexual transmutation that is available for us. We want to avoid ejaculation, we want to avoid the orgasm, and for this specific case, if we don't transmutate the energy will not be productive for single men. So that's why we're going to advise this specific practice on how to reach some benefits for men who are single. So we're going to do the practice of the pranayama. What you see here, this is the typical pose that is used to represent the pranayama. In reality, it's not necessary to do the full lotus pose. It is only necessary to sit with their back straight, and because this is necessary for the proper flow of your breath and also the sexual energy that we're going to transmute. So the principle of the pranayama and how it works is that we're actually mixing solar and lunar atoms, and we're going to explain a little bit more about how that works, and we're going to awake our consciousness. So these are the benefits of the pranayama. If we practice regularly pranayama, it will wake up our consciousness. It will stimulate the kundalini, but it will not have enough power to wake up kundalini. This is according to the Gnosis. There is not enough energy in the pranayama to produce the awakening of kundalini. But we're going to achieve sexual transmutation in a limited way, of course, because the full transmutation can only be achieved when you are doing this with a woman. But because we're single, we want to do the pranayama. And among other benefits, we're going to increase intelligence, focus, mental clarity. It's going to help us to reduce stress, anxiety. It's going to help us to have a strong immune system, improve the sleep quality, and increase lung capacity. So it has really amazing benefits that we really want to have in our life. So let's get started with the practice that we need to do. And let's see some important concepts that we need to remember when we are doing the practice. So this is the let's say disposition or location of the energy channels that are all called nadis. All of these terms are Sanskrit terms. So we have in the left side of the body, or the left testicle, what it is the left nadi, that is called Ida. So the Ida nadi is the nature of this nadi is lunar, and the energy that is related to Ida is what is called Yin. And on the opposite side, on the right testicle, we have Pingala, and the Pingala nature is solar, or is what is called Yang. But the important thing is that Ida and Pingala are connected to the opposite nostril of the body. For example, Ida, which is left, will be connected to the right nostril, and Pingala, which is the right testicle, will be connected to the left nostril. So that's why breathing in this particular way, in the way that we do in the pranayama, achieves the the transmutation because it will mix solar nature of the right nostril with the left testicle, which it has lunar nature. So we're going to mix solar atoms with lunar atoms, so that will create the transmutation. It's somehow like you're mixing two natures together, and this will create some kind of let's say a small explosion. And this atomic explosion will create what we want, which is the sexual transmutation. So this is how it works. And you can see how they are distributed in the body. And we have the third nadi, which is called Sushumna. And the Sushumna, it is not related to the pranayama. The Sushumna is the channel through which Kundalini travels, but because we cannot awake Kundalini with the pranayama, we are not going to mention it anymore. The first practice that we are going to recommend is what is called the Egyptian pranayama, and this is going to be done by inhaling through the left nostril. So to do that, we are going to block the right nostril. So we block it and we inhale on the left nostril, and we are going to pronounce mentally the mantra Tom. Then we are going to retain breath, and when we retain breath, we block both nostrils. And we are going to imagine that the focus of our attention is in the coccyx area of the body, and there we are going to pronounce the mantra Sa. And then we are going to exhale with the opposite nostril. So we started with the left, then we retain, and then we exhale with the opposite, which is the right. And when we exhale, we are going to use the mantra Ham. And then we were going to do, that is only half pranayama, and then we're going to start where we finish. So we are going to block the left, and then we inhale with the right, and we are going to use the mantra Tom. Then we are going to retain both blocked, and then we are going to pronounce the mantra Ra. Focus is in the coccyx, and then we exhale with the left nostril. That is one pranayama, the full cycle starting from the left, block, exhale, block, exhale again. So that is one full pranayama. And we are going to do 6 pranayamas in the morning and at night. After we finish the 6 pranayamas, we are going to do the prostration, which is this pose that we see here. And in this pose, we are going to put the hands in a different position than the position that this gentleman is doing here. So we are going to put the thumbs together and the tip of the hands together in this specific way. And then we are going to put the forehead between the hands, and we are going to pronounce the mantra Ra. The mantra Ra is done exhaling, and this is actually verbal, and we are going to pronounce it in this way. And we are going to do this 7 times. So the mantras, to recap, it is Tom Sa Ham, Tom Ra Ham. And this part is mentally, and when we do the prostration, the mantra is verbal. And that's the entire Egyptian pranayama. So you can see how we are going to mix the atoms of solar and lunar nature with the pranayama. And then we're going to see the second pranayama, which is the Gnostic Pranayama. This mantra is using imagination in a different way. So we start with the left nostril. Again, we block the right, inhale on the left. So we're going to imagine that we're raising the lunar atoms to the brain. This is the imagination, that we're going to put the lunar atoms on the brain, that we're going to retain the breath, block both nostrils, and when we retain the breath, we imagine that we're going to transfer these lunar atoms to the forehead or to the space between the eyebrows, actually, and then to the throat and to the heart in this sequence. So if we inhale, the atoms were in the brain, then they are going to move them to the space between the eyebrows, then here to the throat, and then to the heart. And then after that, we are going to exhale with the opposite nostril, the right one, and we are going to imagine that we are fixing the lunar atoms in the heart. So the focus when we are exhaling is in the heart. And then we are going to inhale with the right nostril, block the left. We are going to imagine that we are raising solar atoms to the brain. Then we are going to retain again, block both nostrils. And we focus on transferring solar atoms to the forehead, the throat, and the heart. And then we're going to exhale with the opposite nostril. And we're going to imagine that we're fixing solar atoms in the heart. And during this practice, we're going to use the mantras that are pronounced like this: I, E, O, U, A. So these mantras are using the pronunciation of Sanskrit, which is different than the normal English sound for these letters. So remember I, E, O, U, A. And each of these mantras is related to different chakras in the body. And we're going to do this mentally when we're inhaling, when we're retaining, when we're exhaling. We're going to do the mantras. All at the same time is a mental exercise. We're not to use any verbal mantras for this particular pranayama. So the mantras are I, E, O, U, A in all the time. There is not a fixed number of repetitions for this pranayama, so you can do it as much as you want. It's recommended to start with maybe 10 minutes at least. I would say is sufficient, but you can do it as much as you want, and you can pick whichever practice suits you best. Whatever is more convenient or more appealing to you. So you have two choices and you can do whichever you want, or you can alternate, is your choice. So this is the way we wake up their consciousness, even if we're single, even if we don't have access to the full sexual transmutation that we recommended in previous episodes. And we want to highlight the fact that what is called the caduceus of Mercury, which is, or Hermes, the caduceus of Hermes, which is the symbol of the medicine, is actually what we just saw in the previous diagrams, which is Ida and Pingala. They are both, intertwined around Sushumna. So this is the symbol of the medicine, and this is actually what it really means. Esoterically, this is the meaning of this symbol. So that's all I wanted to say for now. Let me know if you have any comments or questions in the comment section, and I hope to see you very soon. I want to remind you again about the opportunity to help me support my work. In the description of each episode, I include information about different platforms that you can use to support me with donations if you want. You can also share this episode, like or subscribe, I hope to see you again very soon, and thank you for watching this episode.